Hey, welcome back to the channel. So if you're not yet convinced that writing and self-publishing has become a cult, then maybe Infostack's latest entry in the Write Publish Profit series will convince you that yes, it is indeed a cult. We are now at 4.0, and if you're not familiar with Write Publish Profit, this is a package of writing materials, including software, seminars, workshops, books, everything that really helps authors come together with their ideas, gives them ideas on where to publish or how to publish, or to market, and it's just a whole medley of things. And you can look at the price here of just the types of savings it comes with, but it's a way to bring it all together for a very cheap price and give you so much value for that cheap price that you don't even know where to begin. And I think that's both the positive and the negative of the Write Publish Profit. But this deal's been going on for a while now, and of course I've been a little slow to the draw on this one. Usually am when it comes to this particular series, but I did want to give a video out about it just before it expires in a few hours. So if this is something you do want to take a look at, do go ahead and click on the link below so you have your opportunity before the clock goes to zero, which will happen if you're watching this after June 15th. Then you are too late. But I've seen these things come back around, usually around Black Friday. So I wouldn't count yourself out entirely. Maybe just take a look back at Infostack sometime between now and the end of the year, and you might have a reprisal on this particular package. I think I've seen 2.0 come back a couple times, but clearly we're past 2.0. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys have your opportunity to check this out if you're not familiar with it. And again, if you are new to writing, I definitely highly recommend this. And if you are an old veteran, well, let's just take a look at what you have, and maybe you can decide whether or not it's worth it. I know for me, I'm not going to get it because I already got too much stuff to wade through, and I don't have $49 to spare on something that's going to probably take me months to even get head on. But it doesn't mean that's not a worth it deal. And again, if you have designs on self-publishing, and or even just starting your book that you've been telling yourself for years you're going to do, but you just for whatever reason haven't been able to do it, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to start. So before I show you the stack, I do want to highlight some of the marquee items that you'll be getting with this. So it's not just courses and books and all the usual stuff. You will get some access to various writing software and marketing tools that will really be useful. And I want to look at those first before I go to the Write Publish Profit. And just bear in mind, if you want to skip this video altogether and just go look at the page yourself, you go click on the link and do your own self-exploration. But if you do want to find out more about what's in it beforehand, what I want to do is I want to show you the highlights of what I find is most useful in this pack from what I'm reading in the synopsis. Again, based on my experience with some of the tools and just having kind of watched some of the certain writers and speakers and things, and kind of seeing what their history and reputation is. And I'll just give you my feedback on it as I go. I will try to keep this as short as possible, but at any rate, let's take a quick look at some of the things you'll get. So one of the top line items is Novel Factory. You'll get 12 months of Novel Factory access, and this is a writing software, and again, I'm gonna let you explore it on your own. But the idea here is it's another writing software that you can use to write your book, and just some of the things that you can do with it includes well, creating characters and plots and things. For an example, we'll just take a look at some of the plot outlines. I think what this does is it actually helps you create your story from a scientific point of view. I'm not actually entirely sure how it works, but I can tell you that you're getting 12 months free with the Write Infostack. So if you do get the Infostack, check out Novel Factory because you're going to get it. I guess you can probably look at the features. It's probably a good way to get an idea what it does. But it's basically a series of checklists and worksheets and just all the usual stuff you'd expect from a writing and planning software, and Campfire Pro, like Campfire Blaze, like Plotter, Scrivener, all the stuff. This is yet another one that allows you to do the things that makes you organized and actually tell a story. And if you've watched this channel enough, I have my opinions about whether or not these are useful. I think for a lot of people they are. I think if you're visual oriented, you are definitely going to get a lot out of these kinds of tools. I personally don't get much out of them. 'cause I like using everything from my brain. That's just how I work. You know, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't use this or look into it. And by all means, if you check it out, let me know what you think of it. One of these days, I do want to do a video on Novel Factory. It is one of the ones on my list of things to check out sometime in the near future. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But anyway, this is the Novel Factory preview, and that comes with the Infostack for get 12 months of it. And then the next thing that is really useful is BookBrush. Again, if you've already written your book and you're ready to put it out there on the market, you're going to have to get a cover designer, of course, or design your own if you're talented enough to do that. But then you have to market it, and sometimes you just want to make sure you have something better than the thumbnail image. Sometimes you want to do something like create a mock-up ebook file or a mock-up paperback like this. And BookBrush's whole point is to make that easy for you. I highly recommend it, even though, yes, again, it's another one I don't really use, only because I have another service called Mockup Shots that I paid a lifetime membership for. But it doesn't mean that I don't recommend BookBrush, because I think if you're going to choose, between 2 annual fees or 2 freebies, I mean, BookBrush is the industry standard at the moment, and I mean they got a lot of good mockups here. One of the things about this particular deal is it's going to give you 100 free ones. And I can tell you 100 images goes a long way if you're wise. If you're just kind of throwing things out willy-nilly, you're going to burn through it quickly. But if you're a good planner of your marketing strategies, you can make this one go for a long time. And you can see the comparable prices here. You get 100 free images right out the gate just by having Infostack. I think that alone is worth the price of the $49 you're going to spend for Infostack to get all the stuff, but all the stuff plus this. And trust me, 100 images for all your preferred mockups. I can tell you one of the nice things about using the mockups is, if you have a website you're building, like mine, I'll just show you quickly. Not that, that's my, right here, I actually did this off of Mockup Shots, but it's kind of the same principle. This is on my book page for amusement, and whenever my site goes live, you'll be able to see this for yourself. But I made that off of a mockup thing, and BookBrush does something similar. So this is one of the advantages I think that things like BookBrush has. So if you really want to go and get creative with your 100 free images, definitely worth the money. And worth the price against Infostack alone. So if you miss it, doesn't mean you can't get a good deal out of BookBrush. Or again, check back Black Fridays. I'm sure it'll come back around at the end of the year. But still, I can't say enough that having the ability to make up your own 3D images is very nice to have. Anyway, next you get ProWriting Aid. I've already done a video on ProWriting Aid, but it wasn't very well liked for some reason, so I took it off my library. I don't know if I'll record it, but the short of it is that ProWriting Aid, it helps you with grammar and spell checking, and it goes through 20 plus different categories of improvements and recommendations, and the Infostack gives you, I think, a full year for free. I have the lifetime subscription, so I don't need it. I've already got it for life, but and I always say if you have the opportunity to get it for lifetime, on the 50% off deal, I mean, take it. It's worth it. This is kind of also where I would say deals like the Infostack start to show their flaws a little, because you're getting so much stuff that and not a lot of time to use them. So you're getting the 12-month access to ProWriting Aid, and I don't know when that begins. So the other thing you have to bear in mind is once you access these licenses, you're going to want to use them because they'll run out before you know it. There's a software I have for making music. I use it on my Writer's Bookshelf videos, but it's called Filmstro. I had gotten a free year for that with something I got off of Humble Bundle, and I can tell you that year went by fast. Now, fortunately, AppSumo ran a deal on it, and I think it's still live as of this video, so you might want to look into it if you want to have copyright-free music for your videos that you can kind of manipulate with sliders and just kind of have a cool deal with that. But my point being is these licenses, they go fast, so that might be one thing to consider whether or not you find that the Infostack is worth it. But ProWriting Aid is included in that, and I'm not going to go through the details of what it offers. I just can tell you right now, it's worth it. You should have it anyway, whether it's through the stack and the 12, the free 12-month deal, or if you just get it on the lifetime at whatever point. But just as a kind of a comparison for the pricing, I think it's like $70 that you're saving if you get the deal. It actually tells you. We'll just quickly go through that real quick. Yeah, you got to go through all this. So here's a Novel Factory is worth $75. Pro Writing Aid worth $79 for 12 months. So you're saving $79 by spending $49. So I think that's pretty worth it for a program that's definitely good. But again, you have to use it. If you don't use it, then you wasted your money. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, the next thing that's on there that I think looks interesting is this Publish. Now I actually don't know a lot about Publish, but just from my cursory glance at it, this looks really impressive. What I gather from this is it's both a publishing and a marketing site. So it looks like you can create your ebooks and things from this particular service, but then you can do what is really interesting, and you can actually send out excerpts of your book to your audience in these cool little things called bubbles as you're creating the ebook. So this looks like a really great way to engage your audience while you're publishing. I actually think I want to look into this a little bit more and see what it's all about, because although again I'm not in a position to pay for stuff that I don't know that I'll use. I have this same background image in one of my mock-ups, so it looks like we're all coming from the same sources. It's one of those things where I think if you really are serious about not just publishing and marketing, but doing it in a way that's not convenient too, but that does it in a way that makes sense, that keeps it organized. This looks like one of the things that might be worth looking into. Again, check it out on your own. This video is not really about any one particular product. I want to show you what you're getting if you get the Infostack in the next 15 hours or so, or depending on when you watch this. But this one, I do think it sounds like it doesn't sound like much at all on the synopsis. If you see down here, Publish, I mean it sounds okay, but when you look at what they're offering on the site, I don't know, it looks pretty good. So I would say look into that, and it might be something you might want to just consider whether you get the Infostack or not. I'm going to definitely look into this more. I'm kind of interested in it. But that's Publish. And then they have something called Story Ad, and this is another one that it sounds kind of similar to Publish in a way, although I think this is about more for media kits and things, if I'm not mistaken, and getting influencers interested in you. But this looks like a bio creator or a portfolio creator, which again is really useful, especially if you're trying to do what I'm doing and create a website. I would say my only hang up on this and all the other similar items that they have in the Infostack is, again, the limited access that you get. It's based on time, and when the time runs out, you're either stuck or you have to pay up for more, unless you do forever free, which again might be worth looking into. But this is something that if on Infostack you're getting for you're only getting it for a month. Ooh. 1 month worth $280. That is expensive. I think the $280 is actually for the annual cost. So that's one thing. Be careful when you're looking at these prices. I've noticed that some of these are inconsistent with each other. $280 is not for 1 month. That's like for a year. Now I don't know if that means you're getting it for a year or if you're getting it for a month. It says, well, no, it says right here you're getting it for 1 month, which means you're actually saving $30. Just still, I mean, half of what you're spending anyway. But if you look at what it actually accomplishes, again, it might be worth it. It might be worth it to try it out for a month. But again, I would say this is a case of make sure you're ready to use it when you use it. Don't just sign up for it and forget you have it, because you don't want to waste it. But anyway, that's Story Ad. It looks pretty good, I think. But now that was actually the last one that I opened exclusively. Now I want to just quickly look at what the stack offers in general and just kind of show you the things I think are worth looking at. So I've looked at the highlighted 5 items. I think these alone are worth the price of $49. But if you need more convincing, here's some of the other stuff you're going to get. Mastermind community, you know, it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of mastermind communities. This guy's pretty cool though. He's on, he was just recently featured on Mark Dawson's Self-Publishing Formulas podcast. He's a pretty nice guy, but he sounds smart, so I'm sure you're actually going to get a pretty good deal off of watching his video. But you're saving $240 to listen to it, and you get 6 months. Again, not a fan of limited access. You know, I like lifetime access to things. And this is again where if you are like me and you get overwhelmed by too much opportunity and too many options to the point where you don't do anything, this might be a reason not to do the stack. But if if you manage your time well, and you know exactly what you want and go right for those early things first, then it might be worth it. Then you have, let's see, StoryPlace Pro. Let's see, another workshop. Oh, okay. This looks like another writing tool where you add music. This almost looks like a Wattpad kind of thing. I don't want to say that's what it is, but it looks like a very kind of multimedia oriented, you know, very social media oriented platform. It's pretty cheap without the Infostack, according to this. So, assuming that's telling the truth, this might be worth looking into. Again, it's not on. I don't have a tab for it open, so I can't really comment on it. But it looks like it might be the kind of thing that's good for those of you who really want to go beyond your writing and actually make a network out of it. You know, it's probably good. Campfire Blaze. So I've actually covered that on this channel. If you are not familiar, just go back to my videos from November 2020, and you'll see 3 videos on Campfire Blaze. This is actually currently my most viewed video, Campfire Blaze versus Campfire Pro, or maybe the other way around. Campfire Blaze is a very interesting software if you're not familiar with it. It's great if you're writing epic fantasy, or if you're doing like role-playing games or anything that requires a lot of thinking and planning and tracking. I definitely think it's worth looking into, and you should totally do the 30-day free access. I think you get 30 days, or it might be 14 days. Whatever the free trial is, you should definitely look into it if you care anything at all about writing and planning your story. Where it'll bite you in the butt is if you decide to go lifetime on all the modules. You can find it'll get very expensive very quickly, but if you have just particular modules you want to work with and don't care about the others, it can be pretty reasonable. But this deal gives you 3 months free, and again, like everything else, you know, that time goes quickly, especially when you're on a subscription and you have a lot of other things kind of fighting for your time. But Campfire Blaze is one of those ones I definitely think, if nothing else, give this one a try. I would say maybe Novel Factory, give that a try too, and compare them to see which one you prefer, because Blaze has a module for writing, although you have to pay for that extra. And I'm not actually sure if this gives you I'm not sure how many modules this deal gives you, so that's something else you want to look into, is what you're actually getting for the access. The way Campfire Blaze works is that every module stands alone and you're paying a separate fee, but I think $37 for 3 months. That sounds like you're getting all the modules. Pretty sure, because I know it's like $1 a module per month, so that sounds like you're getting everything. So if you haven't checked it out yet, this is a great time to do it. And then I don't even know what this is. CrowdSpring custom design. It is what it is. You can look into that on your own. This one's interesting if you are, if you're trying to promote your book. I'm not, okay, so just quick time out. I don't know how reliable these types of sources are. So this is the part where I'm going to say, if you've ever wanted to try things like book promotion, and you weren't sure if it was worth testing it in your normal life, this might be a good time to do that, because I personally don't think I would try these out any other time if I were, again, I'm not doing the stack this time around. Maybe next time I might be in a better spot, but if I were doing the stack, I would say this would be the time that I would try something like this. Otherwise, I wouldn't waste my time, because these things are really hit and miss. I would hear so many different stories of people who spend all this kind of money on promotion newsletters and things. But I believe the whole point of this particular service is to show you how to leverage your newsletters, which is a good thing if you can. If you're a writer, why not do it? Public domain super PAC. I don't know about that. Daniel Hall's good though. It might be worth it just because of who's doing the training. He's actually, I think he's one of the more reputable ones. Like super reputable. I don't want to put words into that where they don't belong, but his name floats around a lot, and don't think I think his reputation's pretty good. So I'm sure that whatever he's doing here is probably worth it. But I just, the idea of doing public domain content, I don't know about that. Again, look into it if you want. I'm not going to. 5-day book proposal email course. Okay, so if you're going to try to get published by a traditional publisher, which again, some people want to do that. It's not all about self-publishing. Some people, they want to just go do it the normal way, get into a bookstore, have, a few eyes, have a very small royalty, if that's what you want. But you get the exposure, in brick and mortar stores, and if you get in, and the book proposal is the way to make sure that gets done. There's also a camp that says you should do a book proposal whether you're publishing traditionally or self-publishing if you're doing nonfiction, because that's what keeps you on course, and I agree with that. If you are going to do nonfiction, you should learn how to do this anyway. So I think this is a good deal to have this, and it's lifetime access. So I don't know what Lee Constantine's reputation is, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to at least take a look, because that is, I think if you can get book proposals down, you're already ahead of the game. Write the podcast, radio, TV pitch that will wow them. You know what? I don't do pitches. Again, some people have success with it. Obviously, the streaming services are full of shows that got greenlit, and I would say if yours gets greenlit, good for you. But this is one of those things where I think it really comes down to who you know, and whether or not you can pitch. So I would say learn how to do it, but then learn how to get the attention of those who can actually get you the deal, because otherwise, why bother? I mean, the pitch is still important to be able to hone your idea. You should always know how to hone your idea if you're going to do any kind of writing, whether it's nonfiction or fiction, or screenwriting or television or whatever. And if this teaches you how to do that, then again, it's you're saving $347 by spending $49. Might be good, but I think overall, these kinds of courses, if you're getting it just for this, it might be a little overrated. And again, not to say anything about the course or the person giving the course. I'm sure they're both wonderful. It's just the idea of taking a course on how to do pitches and things. I mean, you got to learn the skill, and it's definitely worth it to learn the skill. But whether or not you get success out of that, I mean, it's a roll of the dice. Anyway, let's get published. I know I'm not even gonna bother with that one. Everything's there's so much information on how to get published. I mean, my channel, I'm sure, has something on it. Just again, it's there, it's free. You may as well watch it. But if you're getting it just for that, I mean, you'll find there's others in this very stack that will also teach you how to get published. So it's fine. Looks like if you're doing traditional publishing. So again, if you're into traditional publishing, I don't know anything about the author, but you really need to know the publishing industry if you want to get published by someone other than yourself. So this might be good, especially hybrid and traditional. You definitely pay attention, because hybrid gets a little gray. Hybrid straddles the line with vanity, and vanity is not what you want. So make sure you know what you're getting into. QueryCast, it's more pitches, more queries. Again, if you're trying to get published by traditional author or traditional publishers, you're going to have to learn how to do it. If you want to get an agent, you need to learn how to do this. So if that's your goal, then by all means, this is worth it. If your goal is to just do it on your own, then again, I mean, you're going to learn some strategies for learning how to do synopses and things for the advertising page. So it's not a bad thing to have. I would say this one's probably worth listening to. Again, don't know nothing about this guy, but I mean, if he's telling you the truth, then you'll get something out of it. So virtual summits for authors. So if you want to host your own virtual summit, that's what this is for. This is for those of you who don't want to just write books. If you want to, leverage your own platform. If you want to become like an authorpreneur, then this is going to be what you want. This guy is actually the one that I originally. He's in my. I'm subscribed to him for some reason. I think he was offering a book through another deal, and I just got onto it. But I read his emails. He's pretty good. And I know he's one of the affiliates on here. I'm not using his affiliate code, but I think I was originally previewing this through his affiliate code. But he seems pretty reputable. And I think the topic is worth looking into if you really want to diversify your income. And if you're a nonfiction publisher. If you are fiction, this probably isn't going to do you much good. But if you're nonfiction, it's worth looking into, I'm sure, especially for the money you're saving. Now we're getting into some of the big ticket items here. So marketing magic for writers. So if you are looking how to get your marketing strategies up and running in a way that's useful, then this might be up your alley. Again, I know nothing about the author here, but here's a little secret. They all kind of ape each other. Like they all kind of go through the same strategies. They all borrow the same tactics and tricks. And I'm sure if she's doing it like all the others are doing it, then you're going to learn plenty. So again, for $49, to save $425 to learn how to do the stuff you need to learn how to do anyway to market, then by all means spend the money. It's good. Go to reader-based bundle. Okay, so this is actually, I do know of this particular author, and she's reputable. She's got a lot of good stuff out there. I think she's another one that makes the stack worth it, and I think she's one of the original people to promote the Infostack. I'm pretty sure. I think I learned about Infostack through her or one of them. But whatever she's offering, it's probably worth it. So I would say, learning how to use Instagram, Goodreads, using your social media to leverage your reader base. I would say this alone is a lot of stuff's worth it, but this is one of the ones that you definitely want to make the time for. Just having not previewed it, but just knowing the author's reputation, I'm pretty sure you'll want to preview it. Bring your book to life with crowdfunding. Okay. Move on. I have no opinion about crowdfunding books. It can be done, and again, there are books that have been successful through that, but it's kind of a niche practice. If you want to try it, go for it, but you really need to have a good idea for that to make any sense. But again, they'll teach you how to do it if that's your thing. 5 secrets to writing bestseller book marketing copy. Yes, definitely learn to do that. I don't know this guy, but this is if you can get this practice down well, then again, it's worth the money. So definitely say do that. $0 new releases. Okay, I was looking. I was kind of doing a preview of what this is about here, and I think that this is this sounds like a really good thing to have if you don't have money, like me. This is the kind of thing I wished I had learned 5 years ago. I might be further along in my career if I had. So again, this looks like the kind of thing you might want to just look into sooner than later. And I think this is the one that had the blurb I liked. Am I dreaming? I might be imagining that. One of these had. Oh no, here it is. Yeah. This line I thought was a good selling point. Authors already making 6 figures have said this tool helps amplify their results. So if you have a release coming up, you're sure to benefit from this profit-generating resource. Again, if you're new to the game or if you're struggling with getting your books out there, this sounds like a really good course to take. And again, if this is one of the ones that actually made me tempted, if I'm being honest. This course in particular got me thinking maybe I might want to spend the money this time around. But I am really tight on budget, so I think I'm going to pass. But if you decide to do the stack, please tell me what you think of that course, because I had my eye on it. Becoming a ghost blogger, how to become a full-time professional writer. This is pretty good money making if you can do it well. Ghostwriting in general is it's a good reputable market that you can earn some good money doing, and even whether it's writing a book or blogging, it's a good way to make an income. So again, and this is like even if you don't get the stack, this is a pretty cheap book, so you might want to look into it just for your own information if you're interested in that kind of thing. I believe this is the only thing in the entire stack about ghost anything. So if you just want to learn how to do ghostwriting or ghost blogging, you probably don't want to do the stack. Then you probably want to just get the book direct, because I think this is the only thing in here that offers that kind of information. A lot of this is going to be kind of overflow, but that one I don't think is overflow. Effective book authoring, nonfiction success, so another nonfiction writing thing. If you're into that kind of thing, nonfiction is a very big market, so if you're not, you may want to consider it if you have something to share. Sell your book's Facebook group video workshop. So it's about how to sell books on Facebook using Facebook groups. It's an e-course. It's cheap. Look into it if you want. 3-step book outlining method. 12-month membership. Okay, so this is one of the ones that confused me. So is it 12 months or is it lifetime? I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. So again, no real opinion on this one. Again, it's a good idea. Most of these are, if you're writing nonfiction. I don't particularly do that, so this wouldn't really be of any benefit to me. But to you, maybe, if you have a book that you want to write that you feel like you just need to share with the world about how to do something, or if you've done a lot of research on a topic and you feel this is a way to get that out there, this might be up your alley. Again, just note the price. It's half of what the stack is worth. So if this is all you want, maybe just get that instead of the stack. Crafting the nonfiction book proposal ebook. So again, anytime you learn how to do proposals, you should get it. If it's good, if it's reputable, if the reviews on the native site are good, then this might be worth it. But again, I don't write nonfiction, so it wouldn't really be of any good to me. But if you write nonfiction and you want to get your book out in front of an agent, editor, whoever, this sounds like it's worth your effort and time to read into it. Blue ocean positioning for authors. So this sounded interesting to me. Again, this is almost exactly the price of the stack. So if this is what you want, you may as well get the stack. It's a difference of $2. But here, let's look at this one. Write a nonfiction book readers want to read, buy, and share. Explore the proven process to map out a book that gives you an unfair advantage over your competitors by providing the foundation to your book's content, marketing, and method to stand out in a crowded market. Blue ocean positioning is for authors of all levels. It'll help you whether you have just an idea or if you're already published. One of the big complaints about writing a nonfiction topic that you're not sure what's going to sell is you don't know what readers are looking for unless you ask them. It sounds like this is the kind of tool that will help you figure that out. So if you are a nonfiction author and you want to learn, what to write about, this might give you that tip. Now, just a quick sidebar. I'm really skeptical about writing to market because, while yes, you will get the money if you're timely and if you're fast, you may not have the heart in it. And I think it's always a better idea to write the topics that you're most interested in, because those are the ones I think you're likely to finish. And who's to say that the market won't be there at some point? You may not get immediate sales, but maybe down the road, people will take notice. It's a gamble either way, but if you are the kind of person who wants to write to market, I think this kind of course is worth your time. So look into that if that's your game. But if you have a topic you're just interested in, I don't really know how this would really be a benefit unless you can figure out how to find the readers that are interested in that topic, which I'm sure this probably does. So I would say this is, again, if you're a nonfiction author, this might make it worth it to you. 5 deadly writing mistakes and how to avoid them. Good idea. You can probably find the information on a blog somewhere, but again, you're getting it for free for the stack, and it's a class, so assuming the teacher is good, then the course will be good. And You always want to learn what to avoid when you're writing, so probably worth it. Okay, so let's see, full-time author, how to build, grow. This is an ebook. You can look at that in your own. The ebooks I'm going to just skip, because they're $5. The 90-day novel guide to finding your author's mojo. This just again sounds like a motivation tool. I don't really have an opinion on that. It might be good, but it's another one of those like paint by numbers, get the thing done. If you want to get it done in 90 days, here's how you do that. And just basically, I'm sure it works, but you have to be the kind of author who'll stick to the program. And not every author wants to do the same thing the same way all the time. So I mean, it's not a one size fits all industry. So this may or may not be worth it to you. I would say, again, good opportunity to see if you are the kind of person who'll learn from doing a platform like this. But I know I don't do this kind of thing. So for me, I probably wouldn't even use it. But if you're new to writing, or if you're the kind of person who's challenged by, if you're not committed, this might be a way to get you committed. So, don't forget too, guys, you can always check their testimonials if you're not sure whether or not it's going to be worth your time. Because at this point, you can figure out where, when I said at the beginning how writing and publishing is like a cult, you can, hopefully by now you're starting to see why I think that. It's a lot of the same kind of comeback, go through, wash cycle of, rah mantra stuff. A lot of, it's just a lot of psyching you up. It's a thing. It's just a long wash cycle of tactics and things that all the right published profit courses all kind of do the same thing. It's different instructors, different courses, different deals every year, but it all accomplishes the same outcome. And hopefully by now you can see that. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to go through the rest quickly. The video is getting long, and I'm sure you're getting bored. So just to trying to become a best-selling thing, I want to show you the stuff that I think looks really interesting to me. Most of these are expensive, so you're saving a lot of money. Mindset, I mean, $500 for a mindset course. I mean, if you're ever going to go for a mindset course, this would be the time to do it when you can save $500. I don't know why anyone would spend that much on a mindset course, but if you're the kind of person who needs that, welcome to the cult. Train your brain. Yeah, again, you can. If you've watched my Writer's Bookshelf series, you can learn how to write using books too. Okay, this thing here, I think looks awesome. Now, I'm not a romance writer. Would never dream to start to become one, but this is a really cool tool. Okay, so this one I'm going to take a quick pause because I think this is something. I actually kind of want to use this now, even if I'm not a romance writer. I just think it's really cool. So what this does is you actually you can roll the die, and what it does is it gives you these kind of cards against humanities kind of pairings of items, and you can get a really interesting prompt by the things that it pairs. So one example is a substitute teacher believes they've uncovered a league of time travelers at a sleep apnea clinic. Like, very random, and I don't know if you would ever write a book about that, but the fact that you would have that idea from this journal is pretty cool. Toll booth worker meets a gossipy district attorney at a seance. Very strange, but let's see what that turns out. This one in the middle is probably the most interesting. Fire alarm at a hotel wakes a lonely real estate agent and a widowed nutritionist on the eve of the apocalypse. That actually sounds like a plot to a movie. So this one here, I think, is if you haven't already written it, this is the example of why a tool like this is really kind of cool. If you look at the blurb, the reviewer says, "I love the concept and I've used the horror edition. Such a cool idea." That makes me think maybe there's more. So even if you don't get the stack, I would say look this up. Go to Amazon and get or wherever it's sold. And, get the one that's in the genre of your choice. Especially if you're struggling with ideas, or if maybe you don't struggle with ideas, or maybe you think your ideas are boring and you want to punch it up a little bit, I think this looks pretty cool. So yeah, this here is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video. Again, $5 tool. Don't spend $50 to get a $5 tool. But if you do spend the $50 to get everything else, use this. This looks really fun. And then go look and see what else they have. Okay, publish your book of power and purpose. Again, this looks like kind of an all-purpose seminar. Don't know anything about the author, but kind of interested in what she's selling here. This looks like, again, a kind of a good all-purpose, put it all together type of course. And if you're not sure where to begin, this looks like the kind of course you might want to watch to learn how. Again, I don't know about this 12-month access. That seems kind of sketchy to me. So I hopefully by now you haven't run out of time. Maybe, you know, if you're trying to go through these one by one. The length of this video, just doing the synopsis, should show you about how long it's going to take you to get through all this stuff. So be mindful of the stuff that have time limits. You really probably want to prioritize your favorites. I would prioritize this one if I were starting out, because this, again, looks like it covers all the steps, and it's and this blurb also sort of sells it for me. So I'm kind of interested in that one. Shadow Journal is pretty cool. I don't fully know the purpose of this. This sounds like extra writing that might be unnecessary. However, if you are a fan of free writing, or if you're a fan of having background information that maybe won't make it to print, but definitely helps you understand a character better, this sounds like the way to go. And what I like about this one is this check here. How to turn your shadow journal into a standalone short story you can use to build a list and warm your readers up to buy your books. This is, I think, the kind of the appeal of doing this kind of work is to have an item that you can show your readers, whether you do it for free through a newsletter or put it behind a paywall or whatever you want. It's a way to get extra content for not doing a lot of extra work. For work you have to do anyway to make sure you know what you're doing. So this kind of thing, I think, sounds worth it. So that's another highlight for me. Kickstart your writing. I mean, this sounded okay. Again, feeling unmotivated, you know, join the cult. Get motivated. Sorry, anytime you have motivation seminars, I feel like, okay, just, you know, hand me the candle, give me the robe. Let's get this party started. You know, says the guy who starts his Writer's Bookshelf series with the motivation books. Anyway, how to plot a series that rocks. Okay, so this is a plotting tool. I mean, you need to learn how to plot if you're a storyteller, so, you know, yes, worth it. Rock Self-Pub School. I don't like the title at all. But is it worth it? Inspired with genre case studies. That sounds worth it to me. Yeah. And then mishaps of self-published authors. That alone, I think, makes it worth it. And then the fact that you're saving, you know, $350 also makes it worth it. So this is one of the ones that I think sounds like it might be worth your time. Although I don't like the title at all, but the course sounds pretty good. Okay, this is another highlight here. If you get the core, if you get the stack, I would definitely make time for this. I know the book hasn't been, my video on it hasn't been published yet. It's not going to come out till, I think, August or September. But one of my books I'm doing for the Writer's Bookshelf is about plot twist, and it's a really good skill to learn how to do. And so I think if you can learn how to do it well, I have a feeling this course probably does a lot of what the book I'm going to review later in the summer does or talks about. But this is the kind of thing that you need to learn the skill regardless of what your genre is, even if you're writing romance or thriller or even nonfiction. If you learn how to do plot twist, you can really keep your reader engaged. This course, I think of all the courses, this is the one I would be most interested in watching. You know, sorry that it took me 30 or 40 minutes to get to this part of the video to tell you that. But yeah, if you learn how to do this, then I definitely think that's going to be worth the price of admission right there. I would definitely want to watch this video, this course, whatever it is, and it's lifetime. So you can take your time with it. But I think this one would be worth the $50. And if this comes back around on Black Friday, If 4.0 comes back around on Black Friday, I think I will probably get it then, just for this course, because I like the concept, and the book I reviewed is really good. But I always, one of the my philosophies is that, if you can learn the same thing from different authors, you can get a different perspective, and it'll help you kind of shape your view on how to do it yourself. So, I kind of say the cult thing is a bit of a joke, but when you have the different people saying the same thing, it begins to brand in your brain. And when they have different ways of kind of sharing it, you without going away from the core principle, I think it makes it a lot easier to adapt it. So that's the point where I would say, okay, if you do get the stack, and you do decide to prioritize which ones to do first, I think this one here, it sounds like it needs to be early on your list. Because you need to learn how to write well before you learn how to market well. And all the marketing stuff can come later, except for maybe the ones that are on the 12-month limitation. But with those that are lifetime, and you temper your assuming you don't get 5.0 when that comes out in a year and have to do it all over again, this one I think you probably want to start earlier than later. Finding a Publisher Guide to 750 Publishing Houses. So this just sounds like another version of the Writer's Digest, which honestly, for the same price, may as well just get the Writer's Digest. I don't know how this differs from the Writer's Digest, so again, if you get the stack, take a look, see what it offers. But I can't imagine it's any different than the Writer's Digest or Jeff Herman's guide, if you're familiar with those. And if you're not, look them up, because it's going to be a couple years before I cover them on the Writer's Bookshelf. Just a little forewarning there. Rapid Release Roadmap. Okay. This is another highlight. I don't do rapid release. I take my time with my books, and if you're familiar with my books at all, you'll know that I also go back and rewrite things a lot. I haven't had a new release, I think, since 2016. That hasn't been just a rehash of something I've already published. And the reason I do that way is because I want my books to be good, and I want to make sure I know they're good. So I don't want to release brand new books until I know the ones that are already out are worth reading. And so clearly the rapid release roadmap does not work for me. Now in time it might. That said, a lot of authors do this, and a lot of authors make good money doing it. And if you're the kind of person who wants to do it or thinks you can do it, this sounds like it's really worth it. And again, I would watch this course just for my own information. If I got the stack, this would be early on the list of things I would watch, because I want to know. I want to know if there's a better way to do it. Now, I will say my Kindle Vella story is coming along quickly, so it's not impossible to do rapid release. I've already got 30,000 words into it. In fact, I think is my thing still on? No, that's something else. Yeah, if you're the kind of person who wants to do 4 or more books per year, and you probably should learn how to do that if you want to keep the readers coming back for more. I think this is worth it. So I definitely, if I had the stack, I would definitely watch this earlier than later, if I had the time to. Book Publishing Masterclass. I like the checkpoints in this. I don't know anything about the author, but this blurb gives him high praise, so he sounds like it's probably pretty good. This one sounds just kind of no nonsense. I think there's something about this one. I feel like it's probably just a good, a good one just to really get your head in the right place. I like this 7 Ways to Publish Your Book with Little or No Money. Again, one of the things I wish I had learned more when I started publishing, because I probably would have saved myself some headaches. But I, again, know nothing about the author of the course, but this sounds like it might be pretty good. Worth checking. So I published an international best-selling book. So this is another kind of, just do it all. If you're not familiar how to publish, this will teach you how. If you want to become a best-selling author, it's going to, I haven't seen the course, but I can already tell you, it's probably going to go through all the usual stuff. If you've watched one, I'm sure you watched this one too. Cost the same as all the others. If you haven't seen one yet, if you haven't gone through a writing course or a self-publishing course, why not start with this one? If you need to learn how to do it, so learn it from one of them. Again, I have yet to see one that's that much different from any other. They're all nuanced, so I don't know what makes this one nuanced from the others, so I can't really comment on that. But they all basically cover the same principles and the same tactics and guidelines and things. And if you're not familiar with any of them, you need to be. So, start with this one, or the other one I showed earlier, the cheaper one, but seemed to have a lot more check marks. I'm sure either one would be really good. And again, going on the principle of overlap, watch them both, watch them one after another. See what you can glean from one that you didn't get from the other, and then just kind of put it all together so you learn how to do this properly. Because you do not want to launch a book that you're not ready to launch. And you don't want to do it if you don't know what you're doing. So I guess this is also kind of in the same realm. Look at it on your own. Book covers that sell. So Matt Stone is one of the well-knowns. He also goes by the name Buck Flogging. He runs a company called 100 Covers, and he actually has several companies. I've actually emailed him before. I've had email exchanges with him before. He's a nice guy. If you're on his mailing list, I got to warn you, his mailing list gets a little crass. His newsletters are pretty crass, but he's pretty informative. He's got some good stuff in there. The 100 Covers, I think, is, if you don't know the first thing about doing cover design, I think he's got a pretty good platform, and he's worth looking into. And I think this is just telling you how to do it. I don't normally. In the past, he's actually had deals where you could get a free or a half off cover. I don't think it's ever free, but normally he sells covers for $99. And usually when he puts out these deals, usually you can get one for half that price, and I don't think that's what this is. What this does instead is it teaches you what to look for in a book cover to know whether or not you're getting a good deal on your cover, I believe is what this is about. Either way, he knows his stuff. This is another one that makes it worth the price of admission. So I definitely think give yourself the chance to look at it, and it's lifetime, so you have your time. You can make the time. If you're not interested in doing your own book covers, you still need to learn how to find the right designer. So you're still going to want to watch this. So this is definitely a high priority course if you get this stack and you're doing the self-publishing. If you're doing traditional publishing, they're going to take care of all that for you. You don't need to worry about it. But if you're self-publishing, you will need to learn how to do this yourself. You don't necessarily need to learn how to cover design yourself, but you do need to learn how to do the proposal. It's called I forget what it's called. There's an industry term for it, but you give your designer, tell them what they want, and I'm sure that's going to cover all of this too. And then again, just know how to identify whether or not you're doing the right thing with your book cover. How to publish mini course. There's so many how to publishes in here. This sounds like the short version, so if you want to just remind yourself what to do quickly, what I like about this is it gives you walkthroughs for KDB and Ingram Spark, which Ingram Spark in particular it's not a golden goose. Like, people learn how to do it, but it's notorious for being difficult. So if this course teaches you how to do that properly, then I think it's worth it, and you need to make the time for it, especially if you have your own ISBN numbers. So I would say this is probably another one worth watching. I'm sure that the expensive courses will show you all that stuff too, although I don't see anything about it that says so. But you need to learn how to actually put it on the platforms, and that looks like this tells you how to do that. Book lead system, it's just reader magnets and things. Lise Cartwright is another well-known in the industry, in the self-publishing space. Again, she's really reputable, got a really good business teaching how to do this stuff. So my guess is she's probably another one that you want to listen to, and I'm sure this course is another one you want to watch. If you don't know the first thing about lead magnets, the thing about a lead magnet is it's good for any industry. It's not just for authorship. If you're trying to be an artist or musician or anything, lead magnet is still worth learning how to do. So this is going to be exclusive to books, but the principle you can adopt to anything. So I would say take a look at it. Evergreen Author Platform Bundle, 300 content prompts there. We'll just move on. I don't really know anything about that. And, self-publishing roadmap. This one seemed kind of generic to me. Oh wait, no, hold on. Yeah, I think this is the one. This is not the one I'm thinking of. This one, again, this looks like the kind of thing you want if you're having trouble getting past your block. I think that's what this one's about. So this is like it looks like a checklist of things to go through if you're trying to figure out how to get published. It's still ultimately a self-publishing how-to from what I'm looking at here. It doesn't seem nearly as in-depth as some of the other ones, but it doesn't need to be because, again, by this point you should already know how to do it. But this sounds like it's going to cover just some of the more essential elements that you need in order to make sure you can get on the map. I like some of the stuff here, like the identifying profitable sales platforms, mistakes to avoid, self-publishing this. Right, I mean, pretty much all the check marks sound worth it to me. So it sounds like it's small and targeted, but it might be worth it. So I would say give it a look, or give it a look. It might be worth it. Got another mini course here. So it's another one. Oh, publishing landscape, including basic industry vocabulary and common mistakes to avoid. So that's nice if you. Well, why would you even need to know that if you're self-publishing? I'm not actually sure. I'm not sure what to say about this one because I don't really. I don't have an opinion about this one, if I'm being honest. I'm going to move on. This might be good, actually. This check might be good, but other than that, I don't really have an opinion. It just sounds like more of the same, but shorter. Polishing your draft, 5 essential layers of editing. Okay, so editing, we don't have too many of those in this stack, so anything that teaches you how to edit is worth it. So I'm just going to say that one's worth it. How to format your book. Okay, so, and again, another cheapie, if you're getting it just for this and you don't need the stack, just get this. But you should get this. This teaches you how to use Microsoft Word to upload a book to Kindle, how to do paperback. Now, if you know me and you know that my channel, you know I'm a big proponent of Affinity Publisher. And if you're ever going to do a paperback, you should use Affinity Publisher. If you're going to do Kindle or ebook, there are plenty of great ebook converters out there. There's Calibre, which I use currently. There's one that I believe is officially announced. I don't want to mention it just in case, but there's a really good one on the way, which I will do a video on when I can, and I will definitely be trumpeting that one. But if you're the kind of person who who just wants to use Word, if you just want to keep it straightforward, I actually use Word myself to upload to Amazon for ebook, and it's really easy, and it's worth doing. You can still make a quality ebook out of Word. Quality paperback, not as much, but quality ebook can be done. And by the way, I have a video on how to do paperbacks coming up pretty soon. I think it's in July, so a little spoiler alert there. Yeah, if you want to learn how to do that well, and you don't know how to, this will be worth it. So this is another highlight for me. Again, doesn't mean I recommend you use Word ever, but if you're going to, you need to learn how to do it right. And this sounds like it has all the right check marks. So this is one of my highlights there. Understanding primal branding. This is another one. I like this author. She's one of the ones I'm going to be covering in a few weeks actually on the Writer's Bookshelf. I think it's going to be after my funny enough, after my my video on paperbacks. It's going to be like literally the next week. Yeah, she's good, and whatever she says, I would listen to. So I don't care how cheap or expensive her course is. This is about branding, which you need to learn how to do. Ultimately, I'm going to tell you, this one's another one worth having, even though I've never gone through the course, and just tell you that she's good. And I'm sure her course is great, and it's probably going to be worth buying or watching. Mind mapping for authors. Again, I'm not really a mind mapper. It's something I want to learn how to do better, especially since Scrivener can import mind maps, and it definitely helps with the outlining process. So it's one of those things that's one of my my long-term goals is to be able to get good at mind mapping and to use the mind mapping tools to do that. That said, if you can learn how to do mind map, I would say do it. And Nina Amir is another industry staple. She's been around a long time. She's very well revered. And I've actually listened to her webinar on a few years ago. She did a little, what was it? It wasn't a mini course, but it was like an interview. But she had a lot of good stuff to share. She's just overall one of those people that's worth listening to if you're new to this, but even if you're not. So I would say any course she's offering, just listen. It's probably going to be worth your time. Social media success for authors e-course. So this is another one of my highlights that I definitely, if I were to get the stack, I'd want to go through and watch this. This is how to use social media to your advantage, and it's an expensive course normally. So again, I don't know how good it is, but the fact that you save all this kinds of money on to learn how to do something you really should learn how to do if you want to get good at marketing, it sounds to me like this is probably going to be worth your investment. So I would say this is another highlight for me. Social media success. I'm not good at social media. I'm still not. Actually, did buy a course in social media that I'm still going through. I'm actually paying the full ticket price for, unfortunately. I mean, it's a very good teacher, but social media is not my strength at all. I think anything that shortcuts the process or makes it easier to follow, and I even have a book on it. I mean, if you can learn how to do it well, it's worth it. Now, unfortunately, I don't use Instagram, and my Facebook is still on the personal account only. Yeah, if you can learn how to do that, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think, is, it's good to have. I don't know how to use it properly, but it's good to have. I'm sure. See, marketing bundle for novelists. So this would be up my alley because I'm a novelist. So it's still another catch-all, but it's by Beth Barani, who's good. She's another one that's been around a while, and I'm sure she's fine-tuned her system by now. So I'm sure the price she's normally charging is probably what the course is worth. So the fact that you can get it for a lot cheaper, I would say it's probably worth it. So, and I was actually looking at the synopsis of this. This is actually a really good course from what I'm getting out of it. So another one that I think that if you don't know the first thing about how to get published or how to market your published book, and they're all going to say, make sure your book is ready to be published, make sure it's ready to be marketed. Your marketing strategy is worth jack if your book sucks. But that said, assuming your book is ready to go, this is another instructor I think will get you on the right track. I think she's good. Hopefully I'm not misremembering. But anyway, yeah, I mean, again, for the savings that you're getting, why not? Novel Planner. So this is another one I think looks really, really good here. I have something similar from a different author who I'm surprised isn't in the stack this year. She normally is. But if you are a planner at all, this definitely looks like it's up your alley. I'm not much of a planner, so I don't really make good use of these kinds of tools, unfortunately. But if you're the kind of person who can really just kind of plot your day and keep to it, I mean, right off the bat, this one's worth it. And you can print it out, so it comes PDF, but you can print it and write on it and make paper airplanes out of it. It'll be really cool. Short story plotting. So if you are a genre writer, this is definitely something you're going to want to look at. 18-part story structure. I'm not going to cover that one. You can read it on your own. But I think anytime you have a course that helps you how to chart a particular type of book, and that type of book is up your alley, then you should listen to it. And this is my alley. This is the kind of thing I would want to write. So I would watch this. Or actually, no, it's software. It's not even. Hold on. Maybe I should look into it a little bit more. Oh, okay, never mind. It's actually, it's a story that it looks like it's highlighting how the turns work. Is that what this is? I'm actually not sure now what I'm looking at, to be honest. I thought it was a webinar, but it actually looks like it's a tool that outlines a plot. Okay. Nevertheless, it's one I would want to look into. I'm interested in it. It sounds like it might actually be similar to what the story grid does. Now that I'm looking into it more. Anyway, all right. This is the last one. 5 steps to pitching your book to Hollywood, even if you're indie published. So this goes back to what I was saying before about the pitches for TV and podcasts and all that. Great if you have the contact, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm sure that the lessons are really good, and I'm sure that if you do get the opportunity to pitch to Hollywood, you'll be lucky and happy to have this in your back pocket. But if you don't know how to get in front of the people, or if you can't get in front of the people, then I hope this isn't the only thing you want on here. But again, I don't want to knock any of the courses or the books on this stack. It's going to work from somebody, and that somebody might be you. So why not? Anyway, that's it. The last thing I want to show you guys before I end the video, and sorry I meant to make this quick. I always mean to make them fast, and I never do. One of these days I'm going to get better at that. But oh, this uses Divi. I recognize that little wedge. The thing that I wanted to mention is you do want to look at the comments below and look at the facts if you're not sure. Again, you're running out of time, so don't spend too long thinking about it. And if you're watching this on the 16th or later, don't despair. This stuff usually comes back around later in the year. Usually each stack features, I think, twice a year. I want to say that's true. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure 2 and 3 had a second appearance, and 4 is brand new. So 4 is, I think 3 was around during Black Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So if you miss this one, do not fret. You can probably get it again in November. Usually they come back around. But that said, sign up to Infostack. Make sure you don't miss the opportunity if this is interesting to you. But yeah, check the testimonials if you feel like it. The point I wanted to make before I close this video is do read the comments. You're going to get a little more information. In particular, the guy running it, Kerry Richards here, has made the point that they're a little behind on, I guess because they're getting so many people buying, that your access may be a little slow. So don't get panicky if you find that you're having trouble accessing your stack. It's coming. You will get it. What he says is make sure you check your junk mail. So here's some of the ways to make sure that you cover your bases. If you pay the $49 and then you don't get what you bought, you actually did get what you bought. Just double check your junk mail. Double check all the places where you can access it. Don't give up, in other words. And then the other point that somebody brought up is the timeline on when things are to be redeemed. You have up to 1 year to redeem the majority of products in the super stacks. Certain items have limited redemption windows. In either case, you can see how long you have to redeem something by going inside your portal area to your super stack. Each product has a redemption period expiration date, so you'll just want to make note of any items that may be expiring before the 1 year period. So if you are still watching this video, and thank you for being a trooper, most of you will have packed off a long time ago. So if you are the 1 or 2 people that are still listening to me ramble, do pay attention to this comment here. If you buy the stack, you need to realize that your clock is ticking. You need to redeem your products, and there's a lot of them to redeem. So don't wait too long. I've learned that lesson the hard way with Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle, if you're not familiar, is a place where you can get software for game design, and you get ebooks and things. And a lot of them are lifetime. You can access them when they're ready. But some of them do have expiration dates. And I know that there's a Unity bundle that I bought a while back that I never redeemed. I didn't think I had to until I was ready, and I wasn't ready at the time because I wasn't using Unity. I was just stocking up for the future. And there was a couple good items on there that I really wanted that expired on me, because I didn't realize I had to redeem them, pretty, within that year. It doesn't mean you have to use them, but it means you have to redeem them. But see, with this, I think you have. I think it's not just a year to redeem them. I think you have a year to watch them for some of them. So do make sure that you prioritize your items if you do get those stacks. So that's what I wanted to share. Anyway, that's the Cult Returns Infostack Write Publish Profit 4.0. Again, I'll just go back to the top for your memory. Again, let me know what you think, if you like it, if it's worth it to you. Let me know if I should buy it next when it comes back around in November, or if it's again, I'm so overeducated on this stuff at this point. I don't really want to spend the $49 if I'm just going to learn the same old stuff over and over. But that said, I think it's, if you're a beginner, or if you're a long-time writer but first-time marketer, publisher, whatever, this is the kind of thing that you don't want to pass up. I don't think you want to pass it up. And if worst case scenario, you spend the $49 and you let a bunch of stuff expire on you, don't worry, because guess what? 5.0 will be around before you know it. And although these particular courses won't be back, something pretty much like it will be. So, it all comes down to you're not missing out on the content, you're missing out on the instructor. That's really what it all comes down to. If you like the way a certain instructor teaches, that's what you're going to miss out on if you don't buy it now. But the content, it'll be back around next year, or even in November. One way or another, you're going to get it all back. And then the software, like Pro Writing Aid is in all of these packages. I don't think you're ever going to miss out on Pro Writing Aid. In fact, I can't imagine some people, I'm sure probably, they probably max out their Pro Writing Aid usage on these Infostacks bundles. So, or Campfire Pro, whatever. I mean, whatever your source is, most of these come back around in some form or another. So when you come back next year, I'm sure you're going to get Novel Factory and Pro Writing Aid again. And these are also often featured in NaNoWriMo. If you win the month, you'll get a lot of these for that as well. You won't get them for free, but you'll get extreme discounts in those cases. But at any rate, anyway, that's Infostack, and I do hope you got some information today, and hope you stuck around to the end. And then thanks again for watching. Make sure you do all the things YouTubers tell you to do, like liking and subscribing and buttoning and unbuttoning, and leaving comments and giving thumbs up, and just being all around nice. Don't be a jerk. I like nice people. And yeah, come back for the next video. The next one will be a lot shorter than this. It won't be another Infostack. It's going to be another writer's bookshelf. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Take care. Bye.